really excited to finally get to show this screen off. I know a lot of you guys have been asking about it. It is done, and I know you've wanted to take an in-depth look at it, so I'm going to show you it. It is my homemade DM screen that me and my mother-in-law worked on. So, you're going to come around here and take a look on the outside, how it looks. Guys, keep in mind this table that I have it on is kind of wonky. It's not level, so that's why you get this little gap in here. Otherwise, it's pretty much normally tight on there. So, as you can see, I like the old school artwork. The artwork comes from Basic Fantasy Role-Playing Game. So, I really like that old AD&D look. So, when you come inside, you kind of get a feel of how big this DM screen is. So, inside, I have my 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons screen. Okay? So, you can see my screen is a lot bigger than that. So, what I did for my inside of my screen is I just copied the inserts of the 5th edition screen and put it up. So, how it is holding, okay, is on the back of the screen, there is a sheet of metal back here. I think it's stainless steel. And then we just use magnets to hold it up. So, when you take a look at it, let me just take this off. Okay, it is the piece of paper, which my 5th edition screen is laminated. So, it is the paper, and then it's laminated on both sides. And then it is an additional sheet of plastic. So, this really holds up pretty well. Please excuse the dogs in the background barking, they're playing. So, that's what holds all this up. So, if you take a closer look at the center panel, you'll see there's actually a framework in here. And then we have that same plastic in here. And then it just allows us to slide in and out the artwork. So what's kind of cool about the artwork is as you are, telling your story and whatnot in the game, you can pick this centerpiece up and then spin it around and then place it back in there. And now what you have hidden in here now is revealed to the players. And this one is in landscape form, so it kind of goes with the rest of the screen. But say there's, an image or a map that is like vertical that you want to go over and do the flip for. I have a larger, or should I say taller one of this. And I just pull this out and I can insert it in, and I have my vertical one now that does the same. Flip in and out. And this also has that nice slick framework that we put on here. And as well as if you look over here on these, all the outside has the same. That way you can just slide in and out the artwork and change it up to whatever your game preference is. And it has the framework all across here. So say I'm playing on a table that is not big enough for the middle piece. I can just take out this little piece of rock that has the slit through it that holds those other ones. And I can slide it in here. And now it is basically the same size as the original 5th edition DM screen. So it's basically the same. And the nice thing about this screen is I can interchange it how I like to. So we all know that the first edition of the D&D screen is heavily orientated to role-playing and not combat orientated. So I am going to make copies of the newer, let me flip it around, the newer ones with the new inserts, and then I'll have that in here, and then I can customize, how I like, and then I can keep to the side, the inserts that are more combat and just interchange it in the game. And to show you kind of how quickly it is, I'm going to use my basic fantasy role-playing Dungeon Master screen here that I printed out and show you kind of how I quickly interchange it. Now, this is just paper. It's not laminated, okay? Also, the nice thing real quick about these metal sheets, say if I want to add a note on here, I can just stick it on here. And these magnets up here are more expensive. They're like really insanely strong. You can actually put your hand here and they will hold together, so they go through kind of bone. They're very strong. Whereas this one's your cheap Dollar Tree magnet, and it still holds up. It goes through all this paper, all this plastic, because remember, these sheets here are laminated, so it holds up pretty well. So you can put notes on here. These little plastic sheets here that are kind of the protector of the back or the front is dry erase. So you can, and wet erase, so you can write on them. So all I'm doing is taking off the magnets, okay, and then taking out this piece of sheet, clear sheet, plastic, whatever you want to call it, and I just put it on here, and bam, it's on there. So again, this is the cheap Dollar Tree magnet, or I can use my more expensive magnets. And again, I don't really need to have this many magnets on here, as you saw, but just, I like how it looks. It gives it where if I need to add something up here, I can. And then I just put it on here. Bam, it's on here. And it just makes it so much easier, you know. And it's really simple. And voila, my screen is now switched to basic role-playing, or basic fantasy role-playing. And like I said, nice thing is if I need something to write down or remember, and you know, I run out of Post-its or something, I can just pop, add magnet, and it's done. So this is my screen. Again, me and my mother-in-law built it. It's really simple, even to, you know, put away. I'm just taking off some magnets, you know, putting those together. I like to keep my plastic sheets with this. I'll take these out, but I like to keep my plastic sheets on there. And it's as simple as closing it like this. It's done, because we have these little metal hinges. And voila. That is my D&D screen that I built from scratch from wood. It's nice. It has middle ones that can flip around. I can change the size up of however big the table is. It's, you know, pretty decent traveling with. Each of the panels that have the ones with metal in it is a little bit heavier than, say, this one here, but it's not too bad, and you know, you can pretty easily slide in and out the sheets, so it's not, you know, too shabby, especially from making from scratch. So again, I know some of you guys are interested in buying one and having me make it. Just let me know what you think, and yeah, guys, that's it. That's my D&D screen.